guys, it's Katie, and I'm here today to do and or redo the It's Finally Fall book tag. I did this tag about a year ago, and I wasn't tagged in it, I just did it on a whim, but this year I was tagged to do this by Literary Lizzie, and I decided to redo it because when I was tagged, 2, I love fall so much, and 3, it's a really fun tag. And I have a feeling that a lot of my answers probably will have changed from last year, so I just decided to redo it. So without further ado, let's just jump right on into the questions. Number 1. In fall, the air is crisp and clear. Name a book with a vivid setting. There were a lot of books that I considered for this, but ultimately I decided to go with the Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri, which, if you don't know, follows our protagonist on a 3-day journey through hell, purgatory, and paradise, and it's just full of a lot of really beautiful symbolism and imagery and everything. And for those of you who don't know much about how this book is structured, as I said, each day is in a different place. So hell is day 1, purgatory is day 2, and paradise is day 3. And there are different levels that our protagonist has to go through, and each level has a specific theme that goes along with it. And it's just so vividly written, and I can just picture each level pretty well, and I just think that Dante did a really, really, really good job portraying how his world should be viewed. Number 2, nature is beautiful, but it's also dying. Name a book that is beautifully written but also deals with a heavy topic like loss or grief. The Realm of the Elderling series by Robin Hobb is literally perfect for dealing with really, really heavy, difficult topics that you don't normally see done in a lot of books, but particularly just in a really poignant and very beautiful way. And just Robin Hobb does a phenomenal job with dealing with heavy topics. I mean, are they still uncomfortable to read about? Absolutely. But in particular, the way that she has her characters deal with loss, grief, etc. is just, it's some of the most phenomenal portrayals that I've ever seen. So definitely the Realm of the Elderling series. Number 3. Fall is back to school season. Share a nonfiction book that taught you something new. I don't want to say that it taught me something new, but the book that I'm picking is The Confidence Code by Katty Kay and other author that I always forget. I always put it on the screen. I don't know what happened to my physical copy. I think my mom has it somewhere, but whatever. But I don't want to say it taught me something new, but it shed a different light and showed me something different about a topic that I'd kind of already known a little bit about, and that is the confidence of women in schools and in the workplace in particular, and just showing all the scientific evidence and kind of giving us a remedy of how to go about overcoming those insecurities. And I just thought it was a really interesting take on a topic that has been talked about a lot. And I really enjoyed it. Number 4. In order to keep warm, it's good to spend some time with the people we love. Name a fictional family or household or friendship group that you'd like to be part of. Oh boy. So last year I know that I said the Weasley family, but this year I think I'm going to pick a different family / friend group, etc. to talk about. I think I'll pick the Callahan family from the Young Wizards books. I mean, I'd want to be part of their friend group, first of all, because they're a bunch of nerds that go around saving the world by doing cool scientific magic and go on all these crazy adventures. So, I mean, that's a cool friend group right there. But also, Nita's family is very loving and very supportive, and they're just watching that family dynamic get explored as the books go on is really, really beautiful to watch. And just to be part of a family that's so accepting, I think is really, really cool. And I just really highly recommend checking out that series if you get a chance, because they're really fun and interesting books, and I don't know, I really like them. Despite not always loving urban fantasy, I really, really like those books a lot. Number 5. The colorful leaves are piling up on the ground. Show us a pile of fall-colored spines. I've got these 3 right here. I know I have more, but it's difficult right now with boxes and books and things. But first book I have is Love by Leo Buscaglia. I haven't read it yet, so I don't know what it's about. Second, I have World War Z by Max Brooks. And this is basically just about a zombie apocalypse. At least that's my understanding of what it's all about. I don't know. And then the third is Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. Because, I mean, it's a yellowy color. I don't know. Number 6. Fall is the perfect time for storytelling by the fireside. Share a book wherein somebody is telling a story. Well, I think I'm going to have to go with the same book as last year because I don't really have one right off the top of my head right now that I can think of that would also fit this challenge, but I'm picking The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss because our protagonist is literally telling his life story. Like, that is literally what the book is all about. So, yeah, that's what we're going to go with. 7. The nights are getting darker. Share a dark, creepy read. For this, I'm going to pick Dracula because Dracula is the perfect dark and creepy read for this time of year. Seriously, it's a wild ride, and it's, of course, you know, a good time. But it's gothic horror and gothic romance, so I mean, it's going to be a little bit dark and creepy. About Dracula is about, it follows this is a couple, Mina and her husband ultimately has to go on a business trip to Transylvania because Dracula wants to buy some property in England, and some crazy shenanigans goes down from there. Dracula comes to England, lots of other chaotic things happen. There's a lot of like chases and things, but it also really deals with Mina's best friend and her dealings with Dracula, and it's just really crazy, really insane, and just make sure you note that it was the time it was written in, because there's a lot of weird themes that a lot of people would be probably offended by and annoyed by today, but during that time it was very prevalent and whatever. But Dracula, definitely a dark and creepy read. Number 8. The days are getting colder. Name a short, heartwarming read that could warm up somebody's cold and rainy day. And for this, I am 100% going to say OMG Check Please by Ngozi. It is the cutest and most heartwarming thing that I have ever read in my entire life. It is just so good and pure. For those of you who don't know what it's about, it is literally a comic, which is actually just published this fall, but it is also online if you want to read it there. But it is a comic about a young boy named Eric Biddle who is coming from the South, and he's getting ready to go to college, and he's leaving his figure skating life behind, and he's a bit sad about that. But ultimately he ends up joining the men's hockey team, and he is terrified of being tracked. And it's just all about his journey of fitting in to this crazy lifestyle while also running a web series about his college life as well as his baking adventures, and ultimately how he worms his way into all of these people he's surrounded by's hearts, and just really finding his place. But also something that you guys should know is Biddy is gay, and so there is a lot of LGBT themes in the book, the comic, and it's just explored in such a really fun, unique, and cute way, and it will not fail to warm your heart in every possible way. You don't need to know anything about hockey in order to read it, because the author does a phenomenal job of explaining everything to you as the comic goes on. So that is one I would definitely 100% check out if you haven't already. 9. Fall returns every year. Name an old favorite that you'd like to return to soon. I am due for a reread of The Silmarillion. It's been a while, and I can reread this as many times as I want, and I will still get something new out of it every time, despite it looking relatively short. This is a very, very dense read that you just really need to sit down and take your time with, because there's just so much packed into this one little book that it's just so important. And for those of you who don't know what this book is about, it is literally the background and creation of Tolkien's Middle-earth. Like it starts with the creation of the world, and it goes through basically ages 1 and 2, the first and the second age, before we get to the Lord of the Rings, which is, I think, takes place in the third age. But yeah, it's a lot happens, as I said, and it's very important, and it really enriches your experience and understanding of the Lord of the Rings and other things that take place in the same universe. So yeah, there's definitely some things in here that I'd like to revisit at some point in the near future, because, as I said, despite the fact that I've read it twice, there's always something more that can be picked up in this book. Number 10. Fall is the perfect time for cozy reading nights. Share your favorite cozy reading accessories. Hello, bed. I literally just sit in my bed under the covers, and sometimes I'll have my dog with me, and that's really all I need. My Kindle, which is, up there, and I'm not gonna reach over and get it. But yeah, really just my bed, and usually wearing pajamas or some kind of loungewear, and then under the covers, and just chilling. That's really all I need in order to be comfy, cozy, and enjoy my good reading experience. On occasion, I will just go downstairs, and if the fireplace is on, I'll just grab a blanket. Any old blanket would do. Be dressed in some nice, warm, fuzzy jacket with some fuzzy socks. Maybe a cup of tea if I'm feeling that, but normally I don't eat or drink while I'm reading. And just have my book and just have a nice atmospheric read. But yeah, it really just depends on the time of year and what I'm going for, but 97% of the time, just my bed, pajamas, Kindle, occasionally dog, and that's all I really need. And number 11 is spread the autumn appreciation and tag some people. I've seen this tag done so much over the last couple of months in particular, and over the years and everything. So I don't really know who has or hasn't done it. But if you're watching and you haven't done it and you want to do it, definitely do it and just say I tagged you, and just make sure to let me know that you've done it, and then I can come and watch. But yeah, that's about all I've got for you today. So as always, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media. I have a Twitter and a Goodreads, which are always linked below. And I have other social media sites upon request. And I will come back with another video for you guys again soon. Okay, bye!